I was in elementary school, I used to write my diary on a daily basis. I used to write what happened at the school with my friends. When I used to travel, I came back to Bahrain and I wrote what happened, what I saw, the feelings, the thoughts, the places, about the places and everything. So I enjoy writing since I was a kid, but I never thought of specializing in writing or going deep in this field. So for me, it was like collecting poems, writing them in a notebook, writing diary, and I always wrote short stories. At the age of university, we keep asking what is the best major to study, and according to what I heard here and there, I decided to take banking and finance. And then later on, I also took master degree in management. So this is my specialization. Is like it's more like accounting and finance and management. But then later on, in my free time, whenever I had free time, I used to read, search in Google, and then I decided to write short articles for my own self. So I created a Word sheet, and I wrote down all those short articles just to keep those information there for me to come back whenever I forget about those information. Then later on, I thought, why I don't just share these articles with everybody? So I created a public Instagram account, and I started publishing those short articles. Mainly, I found myself that I was interested to find out about historical people, places, ancient civilizations. I don't know what is the reason behind it, but I think I enjoy figuring out about what happened in the past. Maybe curiosity was leading me to do this, to do this search and writing about those things and information and people. Then later on, when people started following me, one of my friends, in addition to my sister-in-law, they told me, why don't you just write a book? Because you have writing skills. This was a very new idea for me. I never thought of writing a book. I never thought of that, a person with totally different field can actually go in another field that he or she is actually enjoying doing. So I said, okay, why don't I just give it a try? So basically, I started writing an Arabic novel, which is a real story. But before I finished that, I found myself writing these stories, which the main idea here is to combine the historical information, what happened in ancient civilization, in history, and of course these are related to the wonders of the world, and combine these information with an imaginary stories and events.
Okay.
So I found myself enjoying writing these because they have lots of imagination, and I have lots of imagination in my mind, so I found it very easy to just put my hand on the keyboard writing, and those imaginations were just coming while I was writing.
Okay.
So yeah, I found it very interesting, and I decided to continue going through this field. Then later on, my family and friends supported me and encouraged me to continue writing.
Great.
Yeah.
So, but you come from background of finances and accounts, And you ended up writing also now. Are you managing both roles, or it's like you were planning to go into writing completely?
No, I'm able to manage both fields. I found myself successful in my field that is related to my studies, back in finance, and I enjoy working with numbers. I really enjoy it. I enjoy analysis, and I enjoy writing financial reports. For me, it's like it's fun. It's like a game. But writing is also enjoyable for me, because here I use my talent. I use my own imagination. It is something that is related to me. Every person in the world have his or her own ideas, her own imaginations. So whatever you write in a book is actually representing you, even if there are historical facts. But at the end, you are the one who is joining those facts and information with things that are there in your own mind. So I don't find difficulty to manage both. I find that it is easy for anyone to be successful in his specialization, in his field. At the same time, to take a good care of his hobbies or things he enjoy doing. Because I do also believe that everybody have to create different things, and every time people need to try different things and go through different fields. Life is all about opportunities. Yeah. So we always need to take an advantage and benefit of those opportunities, because they are always there for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't find any difficulty, and I don't even think that I need to leave something and take care of something else. I do really see that I can balance between both.
So what is exactly the context behind the writing books? Because it's, of course, there is a passion. You like writing, but do you think that you have made a space in your mind that through this book you want to achieve something? It's like, kind of purpose or any context you have built for yourself?
Well, my main purpose is to let the reader enjoy reading. This is the main thing. And also to let the reader benefit from lots of information about different countries, cultures, history, civilizations. For each book, I don't just go through the story immediately. No, it starts with a kid with his parents visiting a country. I write about the country, about the culture, about the history, about the ancient civilization that used to be there, about the wonder of the world that is there in that country, because they are going to visit that place. So before I even write the book, I go and search. I take like 1 month just reading about the country, about the civilization, history, and I keep writing those facts in detail. So this is the beginning, of the stories, and then we go into another stage where imagination comes up. So it's a combination of letting the reader benefit from collecting lots of information about countries that they don't know anything about in most cases, and also about the cultures, other cultures. So it also brings people closer to each other, in my point of view. It helps people get to know other countries, other cultures, get information about history. And also there is a lot of joy. I added lots of humor in those books, and because the idea is that he's a little kid. It's all about a little kid called Sam. He goes to the wonder of the world, and because it's a huge place, he feels tired, and then he falls asleep. Then he see a dream that he becomes a 30 years old young man. So it's a man, but from inside he is still just a little kid. So acting like a man, behaving like a kid makes it very fun for people to read. So in addition to, because it has lots of historical information and historical characters, so I added lots of humor as well to make it fun for people to read.
Do you see this as a spiritual process, which is like giving you more of energy and the passion to write more and more, and plus, or is it just because you have some purpose other than sending joy? Because I feel like sometimes it's like entertainment is one thing. So another thing is some people have a plan like, okay, through writing books, I can do some bigger projects also. Maybe if I earn some $1 million from this, maybe I can do something else, So maybe that is the purpose, or maybe something else, but something behind that, maybe it's a spiritual process, which might be something which is related to your work.
I do believe that the spiritual side in everybody leads the person to have to enjoy a specific hobbies. So I do believe that spirituality and hobbies there is connection between them. For writing, writing is extremely connected with the spirituality side in any human being. If anyone wants to become more positive, it takes 21 days to write positive affirmation, and then they can become or believe in those affirmations that they kept writing for 21 days. This is a fact. So also in my personal life, I do practice writing positive affirmations on a daily basis, twice a day. In the morning, I start my day with writing a paragraph, thanking God, and also writing down that hopefully today will be a good day, it will be a happy day, things like that. And at the end of the day, before I go sleep, I write a list of all the things that I feel that I'm thankful for having them in my life, whether they are people, things inside me, things I own, things I have, etc. So writing is, in my point of view, is part of spirituality improvement. We can use writing in getting rid of negative energy, negative thoughts, keeping positive writing continuously on a daily basis changes people's life, thoughts, feelings, even personality. I started writing positive affirmations for my own self in my own diary. It's been 2 years for me now, on a daily basis. I never got bored of it, and I can see the change that happened during these 2 years. So in addition to writing, maybe writing stories will have indirect effect in the spirituality side, but writing in general is extremely connected and plays a significant role in spirituality improvement for any person. It helps people change.
Yeah, personally, I have also experienced it. So that's why I was like, let me see. It's something. Is it something which, like, if you're writing fiction, is also kind of like it's helping you with the spirituality or what?
Well, I add lots of ethics in all these stories.
Interesting.
Yes. So because he's a warrior, he's a leader.
Yeah.
So during all his journey and challenges, obstacles that he faces with all the people that are joining with him, in the victory story, they face lots of challenges, but they always face those challenges and obstacles with lots of ethical behavior. So they never use like tricks, even if they are able to. No, they are very brave. And also, I write lots of advices. Like, for example, someone advises another person how to behave, how to be successful, how to be strong. I give advices in indirect way. So it is like part of the story. So beside to the joy and the informations, also there are lots of ethical advices, lots of morals, lots of things that actually gives the story a very positive energy. So when people read it, I do believe that it has lots of peaceful feeling. Mm-hmm. They will feel the peace, and they will feel that the world is still a good place for people to live.
Mm-hmm. With these books, you have any plans to reach out to any specific audience?
I don't have a specific audience, but I'm trying my best to publish these stories, worldwide. Okay. So yeah, I just published them in Amazon, and I'm working on making these books become more familiar and spread. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not focusing on a specific audience. It's just open.
It's for any age and anybody can
read. because I do believe that both kids and also adults can read it and also enjoy it. It's suitable for all ages.
Quick reads. Yeah. So what's the most difficult thing about writing, characters? Especially from the opposite gender. Because you are imagining someone who is like maybe opposite gender, and when you're writing, that character might be difficult.
Yeah.
So you might be going through so many research for that.
Okay. Imagination is the most important talent that makes any story successful. Mm-hmm. Imagination is the dominant rule in any writing. When I write about any character or a story, it is not only about the gender, but also about different characters. Like sometimes I write about a poor woman, sometimes I write about a rich woman, sometimes a leader, sometimes someone else. So a simple person. So imagination, when people have this strong imagination that they can actually live this character, they will be able also to feel the same feelings. So in these stories, I use I have like female characters, I have male characters. Sam is a kid, he grows up, he becomes an adult, but still he's a kid. So I use my imagination, not only the imagination, but also the feeling with the imagination. Yeah. So when I write, I imagine myself to be that character, and I write all the things, the dialogues, the emotions, as if I am that person. So I remember when I wrote my Arabic book, lots of people thought it was my story, which wasn't. Okay. I kept telling people, no, it is not me, it is not my story. Some people didn't believe it, because when I sat with the person, with the woman who was I was going to write about, I just took her feeling and I wrote the story as if I am the person. So to go through the character, to write the story as if you are the character himself, whether it is a woman, a man, a strong person, a weak person, you need to use your emotion and feelings and to live in that character. In order to be able to write and talk on behalf of that person. So you need to live those characters. Yes, You need actually to live them. And the moment you start using your imagination, you will find yourself feeling the same that they would be feeling in the stories, and your emotions will also continue moving with the story. So for me, it is like I just start imagining and things just go on.
Just flowing.
Yeah.
Did you ever get like a writer's block? You know, no ideas coming out, or no imaginations coming out.
Yeah.
You
When
feel
I
like khalas, yani, no, nothing is coming now.
see, when I was writing the Arabic novel, because it was a real story, I came to that point sometimes that I was like, okay, how many things I can add? Because in every story, you need to use your imagination to add.
Yeah.
But unlike these stories are just, it is all about imagination. So with imagination, I don't have any problem, because I actually had a problem with the imagination since I was a kid. Yes, it is this strong one that I used to suffer from. I was like, I open my book, I want to study for the exam.
Really?
They just come up there, lots of stories. I was very good in telling stories, by the way. So when I write stories, I don't have any problem as long as I need to use my imagination, because once I decide to start from one point, all the rest of the stories and imaginations, they come just very easily.
Since you told me about emotions, taking the feelings of the person, you know how difficult it is. Yani. It was easy for you because imagination is fine when you are trying to get into the shoes of someone else, feel those characters. How do you really do it? Yani? Is there any process which you go through, or
I just sit and feel it.
I
just imagine myself that person. And because when it comes to feeling, of course, there's a difference between men and women in terms of thoughts, in terms of behavior. And also feeling, women are more sensitive than men, and they are more they use more imagination than men. Men are more realistic. So getting to know how people are different. Also, there is something that I think helps me with this with this area, is that I also like to read about psychology, and I also took an online diploma in psychology. Because I do also take lots of courses related to psychology. So I have this information that how does a man feel, how does a woman feel, and a kid, an adult, and I don't have an issue with that. At the end, it's a human being. I do believe that we all feel the same way, but we think differently. And some people are more sensitive than others. Some people have more feminine energy than masculine energy. It is the yang and yin differences in each person. Some people have more masculinity, some people have more femininity. Some people use their right side more than the left, and vice versa. So I don't find difficulty in this area. I don't find people are being so different than each other, because at the end of the day, it is as per a person's, like the way he is raised, the way the environment he belongs to. These things affect a person's thoughts and feeling more than being a man or a woman. So I don't find that there is difference, huge difference between being a man or a woman, except that men are more like, they like leadership, and they like to take responsibilities, because this is why they actually were being created for, to become leaders and take responsibility. Whereas women, they are more with the emotions, the love, the peace, the nature. So getting to know these things and use these facts in the right way, it makes it easy.
Yeah. Which is like, you maybe you did not know also before asking this question. After asking this question, you're revealing it.
Could be, yeah, because
you're coming out with a great answer for that.
Thank you. Yeah. Because it happens naturally. I never thought that how to feel like a man, or how to feel like a kid, or a young, or an adult, but it came up naturally.
So, do you really follow the ethics when you are writing the historical works or real events? Ethics in the sense, like adding ethics is different thing, but do you follow the ethics? Like when you are writing fiction or anything, you have to make sure that it is not gonna hurt the real evidences, the real stories.
Yes.
Because that's gonna raise the red flags.
I'm very careful with that. I'm very careful with that, because I know that people, nations are very sensitive to these areas. I try my best not to write anything negative, and I don't write about religions at all, the existing ones, but I make use of the ancient gods that no one believes in anymore, like the pharaohs gods, the Romanian, the Greek myth, the Greek gods. I made a use of those, and I also saw lots of movies making a use of those gods in like imaginary stories and movies, which is fine with everybody. But I try my best not to write anything negative, so I don't hurt anyone. For example, in Taj Mahal, after Taj Mahal was created, some things happened later on which was not very positive. I didn't mention that at all. So I try my best to write everything positive, and to write in a way that will please those people who live in those countries, not the other way around. So
since your audience are going to be reading it, and one of the things is, even if you are writing anything related to not religion also, it is somewhere connected to the religion, when you say gods. So it is connected somewhere to religion. Right?
No, I only use the gods in Egypt and Italy.
Okay. So in a positive way.
Of course, yeah. No, I don't use anything negative. The negativity are the imaginary characters that I add to the stories, but the those who were existed, I use them in a positive way. So because I am very careful with that. I know that it's not proper even to write anything negative. I do believe that people who belong to these countries, if they read these stories, will be very proud of what I added in these stories, because I focused on being as positive as possible.
Do you try to even see the logical point of view also? Because if you are giving like 2 to 3 villains, or say negative roles, or more than one god also, this is kind of like, it's a challenge for anybody to like really grasp also logically. So do you try to solve those logical points, or?
Yes, before I use any character, for those who existed, like the gods or the pharaohs or Mumtaz Mahal, all those characters, whether they are human or god, I read about them first. That's why I spent a lot of time reading. I don't just go and write immediately, no. Even those gods, I search about them, the name, I should write the name properly. I read the description, and I write the description the same way I find out in the internet, and I don't base my information from one source. I go to a couple of sources and read a couple of articles about those people and those characters and those gods. So it's like I take the detailed information as they are and write them on my own way in the books. So the reader, when the reader comes and read about those characters, he can imagine how they used to look, what was their mission, what was their responsibility, and so on. It is like watching a movie. I keep writing every detail about all characters in the story to help the reader imagine that he is sitting in front of a screen and watching the movie. So I don't play with those characters at all. I try to be specific and detailed as possible.
Okay, great. So since you were saying that it's a screen thing and a movie thing, fiction writing is a process similar to screenplay writing, so how about writing screenplays? Did you ever thought of writing movies, screenplays?
I thought so.
Stories?
Well, I thought so, and I wish to reach this level one day, but I didn't start, and I wonder if I need to take some courses in order to be able to do that. I think I need to take some courses. I guess, but I don't know. But I wish to reach that level, and I have this in my mind that one day I will. I want to write a fiction or a screen copy fiction, but not
now.
Not now.
Okay. What's your starting point? Like characters first, or the plots which you plan, or you have any separate way of doing things, like three they call it like a 3-part thing.
It is
writing.
3-part
thing.
It is 3-part. At the beginning, I talk about Sam, the little kid, and his parents. I write about the country, the culture, the history, the ancient civilization. I write facts about the wonder of the world, like this information that at the beginning, to make it clear for the reader to know what is it about. Then when Sam falls asleep and the dream starts, a new character comes out, and then they keep coming out till the end of the story. So it starts with the current ones that I talk about them very clearly. Then the other characters will come along the way with the story. Because Sam, with his own people, there are specific people that will be joining him from the first point till the end. So they go through different locations. They keep traveling to different areas, to different places. And so the second part is the people who are joining Sam in his journey. And the third part is that those characters who will appear in all different places and locations, because every place, every challenge, every obstacle have different characters. So they come along with the story.
Every chapter is going to be different.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has. There are lots of adventure and lots of new things that makes the reader become very curious to know what will happen later, because every chapter is different.
So what is the most valuable piece of advice you might have got from somebody else for writing, to improve, or some ideas which you might have taken it up and went through it and worked on it? What was that advice?
Well, I remember my friend gave me an advice that if you want to write, make it different. Write about something that no one thought about before. So your writings will be different. You will provide something new to the audience. This is what makes the stories and the books become successful, and also make it as positive as possible, because especially nowadays people they keep searching and talking about happiness. Everybody wants to be happy. Everybody wants to enjoy and have fun. So this was it, that to make the books be fun, positive, and also entertaining, and also to be different than other stories.
So what will be your advice to others who are looking for writing, the aspiring new writers?
Well, I advise them, and I would like to tell them that they need 3 things to become successful writers. The first thing is the proper language, because it is very important. It's writing. So it is all about language, and grammar plays a very important role in this aspect. So they need to have proper language and proper grammar. The second thing is that they need to have wide imagination. Imagination is very important in writing. It is the thing that makes writing successful, whether it is true story or imaginary story. Imagination is very important. The third thing is that they don't need to follow any other author's style. They need to have their own style. When someone wants to write, he or she needs to enjoy writing. And the only way to enjoy writing is to write your own way, to be yourself. So, these 3 things: proper language, imagination, and be yourself. That's it.
Excellent. So coming to your your background more, because since it's all about writing so far, which is interesting for sure. I hope people will enjoy writing and have fun from these books, which are already available on Amazon. So coming to you, before going to rapid fire questions, I'll ask something very deeper, since you are already getting into spirituality, coaching and all, which is very good. But what is inspiring you to go to that area also?
I don't know why this happened and why I kept moving in this area, but I found myself moving in this area. I remember in last day of 2019, I went to Bahrain Meditation Center. They had a small event to start a new year with positivity. So I remember the lecturer, her name is Dr. Vicky. She gave an advice that try every day to write a list of all the things that you feel you are thankful for having them in your life. So I started from the first day of 2020, writing this list. Then things just started to change in my life. People started to come in my life. Other people went away. Things happened, and I became very close to one of my friends that showed me the path of spirituality. So I found this very interesting, especially that since I was very young, I always enjoyed reading about psychology. And I do remember also that I wanted to study psychology, as a specialization in the university, but I didn't get the chance to do so. So I found it very interesting, and I started taking online courses with Dr. Sumaya Nasser, which I find these courses extremely useful. Extremely
it's all
useful.
related to mindfulness,
yes.
Meditation, or
not meditation, mindfulness. To be more conscious.
Conscious of what? Thoughts only?
Thoughts, feelings, ideas, behavior, everything. So I found it very useful, and I thought that maybe everybody should go in this field, not only to become a coach one day, but for their own benefit. It's like a school that helps you become a better person. And I always enjoy becoming a better person. It's the best investment, in my point of view, when you invest in yourself.
Right.
This is the best and the first investment that anyone should think about. So I went to this field because I wanted to invest in myself, in my thoughts, in my feelings. I wanted to become a stronger person, a better person, a more successful person. And I thought that going in this field will help me and makes it easier for me to become a better person today and in the future. So I enjoyed it, and I also found out the income and the results. That's why I was encouraged to continue taking those online courses. And still, I take these courses on a monthly basis, like a couple of ones on a monthly basis. Yeah.
Interesting. Is it total isolation or
no?
Okay.
What
do you mean? It's like you sit alone and work on that.
Yes.
You have any teacher to guide you with that?
Yeah, it is online course. All the videos are there for you, so you can take your time whenever you are free. Whenever you sit in a place where you can actually listen to those records, you can do this. I take a note book with a pen and I write down everything, and I practice. They also have lots of difficult exercises that a person should do, and I keep doing them because I want to reach to the result.
What is your result, Yani? What is your point?
To become a better person, more successful, more positive, feel better.
That's what I asked. Like, why do you really want to be the best version of yourself?
Well, as I said, if you want a better life, before thinking of investing in money, in trading, in like a hobby, in anything else, you need to invest in yourself. The moment you become a better person, everything else will be easy for you to reach. So it always starts with yourself. That's why I wanted to become the best version of me, so I will also see the best of everything I do. Yeah.
Which is like challenging,
It is.
These questions are like very deeper, which you really go and really, because I think everybody has by nature they are already powerful, very strong, very very much into spiritual already. They are spiritual beings already. So as a spiritual being, we are experiencing something human life. So I'm like, and whenever I ask anybody like why you want life, better self, better version, but still I'm like not convinced yet.
It's ambitious. Yeah, it's all about ambition, and also to find out why you came to this life, because we all have purpose, and everybody will do his message and then he leaves. Everybody. So, and also in order to be a better version of you, you have two ways. You either go through obstacles and learn from your mistakes, or you go in this field and learn how to be strong instead of facing obstacles and getting hurt. So it's like either you go by learning how to be strong from the beginning to avoid this path, or you go through life, you leave yourself to go through life, and you will face lots of difficulties, and those difficulties will make you a stronger person. So you can avoid this by learning how to be strong and find those and face those obstacles in the future in a very easy way.
Like you said, purpose. This will be my last question. Don't want to drag you so much. But when you say purpose, What's your purpose then?
I do believe that my main purpose in life is to spread peace and love, and to help others feel better. This is my main purpose, as I know for now. But of course, I also do believe that people will find out better through time what is their main purpose in life.
Yeah.
But at the end, we all have a specific purpose, and we will do what is required from us before we leave this world.
Helping people means what exactly you are helping with?
Well, helping.
Just feeling better?
Feeling better, yes. And feeling better, giving advices for those who accept, of course. And whether it is people, the environment, to take care of the surroundings, people, the environment itself, the creatures, doing good things at life.
Yeah.
To everybody. This is what I do believe.
Yeah.
And also, environment, in my point of view, is very important. Taking care of God's creatures, animals, is also very important, because at the end of the day, God gave us the brain and the capabilities, everything. So we are the ones who took the responsibility. So I also do believe that we need to be responsible of everything around us.
Great. Thank you so much, because these things really, help everyone who is watching also, like, find out, like, their purpose in their life, like, how important it is, like, which is making you smile. It makes your heart smile, and you feel really happy talking about it. Other than this, do you have anything else you do really enjoy? This, I'm sure, writing.
Well, I enjoy the most joyful moments for me is in the early morning when I wake up, of course, and I'm a morning person, so I wake up very early. And this is my favorite time. I spend around 2 hours. I start with praying, reading Quran, reading prayers, writing affirmations, positive affirmations. So then I sit there, I watch, I keep looking at the nature, the trees outside, and drinking my tea. So I have this time that...
this time is your precious time.
It is my time that this is the most that I enjoy during my day. It's my special time.
That's great. So I'll take a few rapid fire questions. Because so far you have given us, like, how authentic side of yours, very transparent, what you believe in, what your purpose is, and you're still figuring it out much better purpose, right? Wishing you the best for that. But before that, we will before we conclude, we will have some rapid fire question. Is like, you will get to answer only 3 to 5 words only. Very short answers.
Okay.
And sometimes it's like 1 word, you have to just complete it. And you're a writer, and it will be easy. So you can come up with your whatever comes in your mind immediately, and you're not taking much of thinking, Means when you're just more of thinking, you're trying to create something.
Yes.
So how do you want yourself to be remembered?
Lovable.
So what are you most grateful for in your life?
That I'm healthy. I have good health.
More than one, or can you give like 3?
3. Okay. I have good health. I have good family. And I have everything that I need.
So how long does it take for you to to trust someone?
I take not very long and not very short. I'm careful.
What do you do really when you get angry?
According to the person I'm angry at, sometimes I leave, sometimes I shout, So some people need strong action, some people need you to just move, and some people need solutions to give them solutions. So it is according to the relationship and situation between you and the other person.
Who is that current social social media influencer, which is making some happy faces and making you happy also?
Dr. Samaya Nasser. She is a Saudi doctor and consultant. She's the one that I keep following and taking her courses. I do believe that because of God, of course, because of Allah, then the courses that I took with her, I changed a lot. My personality, my thinking, lots of things. I'm very thankful for her for being there.
So, how about other social media influencers? Do you have anything to say, like what they have to improve on?
Well, I do follow lots of educated people. Some of them are artists, some of them are doctors, some of them are speech.
What is the missing factor in them?
Well, it depends. Some of them are perfect. Some of them I see them perfect. Some not. But generally, I don't agree with all people in everything. So everybody, all the people that I listen to, whether they are teachers, doctors, religious people, I always have my own opinions. So I agree with everybody and everything. And I do believe that it is fine for a person not to be perfect, because everybody thinks in a different way. Everybody comes from a different environment and different background. So we don't need to be perfect and we don't need to be right in everything. So for me, it is fine for someone not to be perfect in everything, but as long as I like what they are talking about or what they are providing, for example, say 80%, then that's good. Yeah.
What is one great thing which people don't know about you?
They don't know that I'm very religious from inside, because usually in our communities, people judge from what they see from outside, and from the outside, I don't look religious. But from inside, and also when I'm alone at home, especially in the 2 hours in the morning, so I do believe that I'm extremely religious from the inside. I don't talk about it because I know that people, they always judge on what they see, and they don't see a religious person in front of them for the way I dress up, for example, or the way that I look. So yeah, and I don't show this part anyways, because I don't feel like people are ready yet to accept like it is something new. But the new generations are thinking differently from the older generations. New generations, they judge on what a person is from inside, not the outside. So, but our society is still, I find these societies still stuck to the old thoughts. So yeah, I do believe that people, they don't find me that religious, but I find it because I feel it from inside.
Which book has had a great profound effect on you?
Recently, I read a book for the amazing Sadhguru, which is called Karma. And I do believe that this book is very useful, very useful. It explains things, why things are going on in your life, the way they are, and how your thinking, your thoughts and emotions actually affects everything around you. So I do believe that this book added a lot of knowledge to me, and it helped me manipulate and control myself, my thoughts, my feelings. In addition to this book, also there are lots of other books, like a book I read for Lois Hay. It is also about positive affirmations and how they change people's life and make it better.
The 3 skills you wish you learned it before.
Writing is one of them. I used to write always, but I never thought of writing a book. I never thought of going into this field deeper to this level. So this is one. The second thing is to become a public speaker. I like speaking and I enjoy speaking. I always wished to become a speaker, but I never thought of taking this a step serious. The third thing is to become a coach. But I have this in my mind, and I have this in my plans. I'm working on it, but still the time didn't come.
Okay. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Pure, talented, thankful.
Okay. When I say happiness, what comes to your mind?
Peace.
So what is money for you?
Power.
Being organized or attention to the details?
I am very organized. Extremely. In everything.
But you're giving attention to the details also.
Well, I am, but at the same time, I do organize my details as well.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's smart. 2 things you would change about yourself.
The shy. I used to be a shy person. I don't think this exists anymore. And to take care of health, to play more sport, to become more active. So I need that as well, yeah.
Okay. When are you most productive?
In the morning.
Okay.
I'm a morning person.
One biggest regret which you have?
That actually a couple of ones. We can say that life is experience. People shouldn't regret about anything. But if life goes back, I think I would study psychology at the university or maybe art. Because I do believe that I was born for this field and I will be specialized in this field one day. So I think that the new generations should follow their interest to decide what to study instead of what is there available in the market.
What makes you feel alive?
Prayer. Being connected with God is what makes me feel that I'm alive. Because it always gives hope. It always makes you feel better. And it changes you, whether you would realize it or not, whether it is direct, you can see it or not. At the end, this helps you a lot. So,
do you feel His presence? Do you feel God's presence all the time?
Of course, yeah.
Looking at that, you take care of all the any decisions in your life.
Yeah, but because we are human beings, so sometimes we forget and make mistakes. Okay. But generally, as much as possible. But at the same time, I have my own ways of thinking, and I have my own thoughts. I don't follow any specific, like a school or religious man. No, I do have my own thoughts and my own beliefs. I do believe that God wants us to be happy, and He created everything for us to become happy. We need to figure these things out.
What
Yeah.
if it is there? It's already figured it out.
Then we are happy. Then we need to experience it.
Yeah.
So it's not enough for you or for a person to
Yeah.
figure everything and to know everything, but
If it
to
is
live
already
it.
figured it out, why you need to?
Yeah,
you know,
to experience it,
just
to
you
live
have
it, to
experience
feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So lastly, how was this interview for you?
Amazing, very interesting, very useful. Also for me,
Yeah.
because there are lots of things that I didn't know about myself, but you made me find them out. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. You have really added some value. Like Yani,
Thank
you might have took a little time in the beginning, but you did it. So it was great. Pleasure having you, and knowing about you, and knowing about your personal any thoughts and thought process which you are going through. And I best of luck for all the things which you are doing. And I hope these books are going to be like any bestsellers soon.
Inshallah.
It's already available. Make sure to check out these books, fiction books by Mona Askar, and make sure to go through any links which I put in the descriptions, where you can follow her on Instagram, or maybe you're planning to open any YouTube channel or what?
Inshallah.
So
In the future.
just get started with the Instagram. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned, and see you in the next episode. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you.
Thank you.